Hi, it's Annie. Welcome to Sensing Vitality. I combine Feldenkrais with nature awareness, and today we're working with the mouse. Now, you might think, why move like a mouse? Well, mouse is one of those animals that is one of the best survivors in the world. We can learn a lot from mice and how they're flexible and how they can overcome obstacles. So I'm wearing my Ganesh shirt here in honor of the mouse. And you can use a folded towel today and a long skinny blanket roll. We're going to have this short lesson. I have a longer lesson on Patreon, but a short lesson to help as a warm-up for your back. And please do not stretch, okay? Do not strain. That's the whole point of this lesson. So you're going to put your butt so that the flat back part of your butt is on the blanket roll, and that's right where your SI joints are, the sacroiliac joints. And then be careful to come down on your forearms and roll back. So that's one way to do it. If that looks hard, you can also lift your pelvis and slide the roll under your butt that way. Okay, and if you don't need anything under your head, you can take that out and just have your head flat. But I want to make sure if your chin tends to arch up toward the ceiling, put a little something, just a little bit under your head for this lesson. Have your hips apart so that the feet are a little bit wide, not too wide, but just so the knees aren't tense, that you feel like they're going to balance really well on top of your feet. Take a moment to just take a few breaths in this position. And settling into the floor. So this is the easy part. And I want you to continue to feel easy with this. Yeah? So just breathing. And now take your left hand with the fingertips on the very tip top of your head and put all the fingers together. And turn your head to the right, but don't go as far as you can, just easy, turning your head so you feel the skull, the head bone, and then turn to the left and just feel that movement. It's kind of goofy to do that with your hand, but it will tell you where your head is in space. And then bring that left hand down. And now do that with the right hand. Put the fingertips on top of your head. Your elbow could be a little toward the ceiling, and just turning your head to the left and turning to the right. Just easy does it. Just a few times. And notice, are you breathing? Can you breathe easily? If not, make the movement slower, smaller. And then take away the roll, to pull it out, and just lie on your back. And if your back's uncomfortable, you can take and hold your knees for a minute and just roll a little side to side, and then put your legs down if you need to do that. All right, so as you rest, feel the bones on the floor for a moment. This is a super simple lesson, but it's so wonderful. Now, how is this at all like the mouse? Well, the mouse has a really long torso with short little legs and then a tail that's the same length as its torso and head, the whole body. The tail is super long. And humans, we have really short, stubby little tails that don't stick out really. And so we're going to feel this lengthening of the spine that the mouse can give us by accentuating the contact of the spine to the floor. And that's what this lesson does. So bend your knees, pull the little thin blanket roll underneath your butt. And all I've done is taken a blanket and rolled it in half and then made a long skinny roll out of it. Now when you put your butt on the roll, you can move it up or down a little bit, but find that sweet spot where your low back is not arched and not rounded too much. It's in a neutral place with your low back. Okay? And now place your left fingertips together on top of your head. And now this time take your knees and tilt your knees a little bit to the left and to the right. So slowly, don't strain, be gentle with this movement because you're doing something different on the blanket roll. See if you can relax your chest, and you'll start to feel a connection maybe of the pelvis and the spine going up into the chest, into the ribs, the bones of the rib cage touching the floor a little bit as you tilt the knees. And then bring that left arm down, bring your knees back to the middle. Take the right hand now, top of your head, and begin to tilt the knees. And you'll notice, does your head want to follow? Don't necessarily make your head follow, but you'll feel that there's this connection where the head might move a tiny bit because of the knees, okay? And if you watch the mouse, it's just like they're one fluid sac. It's amazing how compressible everything is in the mouse. Their heads can get smushed through tiny holes. Their hips are very malleable. Their ribs are very malleable. So we want to feel that in our own bodies, the sense of everything not squishing, but just dropping into the floor. Yeah? And then take away the roll. Lengthen your legs now and feel the contact with the floor. And just breathing. And roll your head. Can you feel, just doing those little movements, how much looser your neck and head are already? And that is not even the full-length version of my lesson. Now bend your knees, spread your feet so they're fairly wide. Take your left hand on top of your head, yeah? But then move it so the fingers are on the floor, and then just slide your left hand around your head, like toward the right shoulder, and let your knees just follow the movement of these fingertips sliding around your head from side to side. Just slide these little fingertips around. It's like your short little mouse legs. And just let your body be as close to the ground as possible. Just, mice are very close to the ground, and we want to make as much contact as we can. And they have little whiskers that stick out pretty darn far on either side of them. All right, let's rest for a moment. They have 12 whiskers on each cheek. They're like little antennae, the whiskers, so that you can sense vibration. Yeah. Let's bend your knees one more time. Take your right hand now on top of your head. Drop it down to the floor. Slide your right hand to the left and tilt. I'm going to move my roller there. And then slide around to the right. And just see, can you feel that your body can just be as close to the ground as possible as you slide your fingertips around your head? Just stay close to the ground with your whole body. And then please rest. Roll your head now. Does your neck feel even easier to roll your neck? Roll your head. Wow, what a difference. All right. Now, it's really nice if you could just pause the recording and just hang out here. Just rest for a while into the ground. Let all the tension out. And when you're ready, roll to your side and we'll come up to sit. And that is my little back warm-up, spine warm-up. So nice for your head and neck. So nice now if you were to put your fingertips on top of your head and turn your head. Does that feel easier now to turn your head? Yeah? Try the other hand. Okay. And then as you come up to standing, do this in standing where you put your fingertips on your head and just see how is it to step and walk. How is it to turn your head, then bring your hand down, walk around. Notice how it is. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you like this, hit the like button. Also, the bell button will notify you of new lessons. And special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. You can now subscribe for free to my Patreon, and then there's all these different levels of engagement with me for lessons. Thanks, and I will see you next time. Take care. Go be free, but don't come back.